Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back for another Gamma World module review. This time we have the sort of last chapter installment of the Gamma World 3rd edition epic adventure for the Sky Chariot. This one is called EPSILON CYBORGS. This is Gw10. Gw11 was never actually produced, but I will be reviewing it tomorrow, as it is a kind of necessary to get to the conclusion of this adventure. Playing this without that would be pointless. Obviously, as a GM, you could create your own version of the finale, but I'm going to go through it and see what it has to offer and if I would change it. Right off the bat, I gotta say, I'm really disappointed that this massive Arctic exploration vehicle was not anywhere in the module. I find that really kind of disheartening. It's such a cool looking image, and it would have made for a fun addition to this adventure. But let's get on with what we have. What we have is the players set on the task of finding the creator, the individual responsible for unleashing scores of cyborgs and robots in the frozen southern lands of the I guess the Flower Lands is what the overall geography is called, and in doing so prevent Timon from gaining a new ally, that being the EPSILON cyborgs and the creator. Really wish that was in the adventure, just saying. That would have made for just a whole lot of fun. Maybe maybe I'll do something with it myself. But if the players are successful and do all the things going through the overland adventure and uniting the tribes around the surrounding area of the creator's secret lair, not only will they gain a lot of allies, but they'll gain a lot of experience and a lot of adventures, a lot of encounters that are designed to bring the spirit of the player characters up to that epic level, becoming legendary heroes amongst the tribes, and some challenges along the way that they're quite interesting. The lair of the creator itself is a very dangerous place, to say the least, not just because of the encounters, but because the area itself is in danger of collapse. Little do the players know, spoiler alert, the lair is slowly decomposing due to the creator having had to cannibalize parts from other levels to keep it going, and using ice of all things to reinforce the structure where metal and plastics were not possible, and due to unforeseen circumstances, the winter is about to end, and so is the creator's kingdom. It will begin melting after about a month of the players getting to it or in the immediate area, and if they're not careful, they're gonna perish inside the complex when it just all comes crashing down. However, should the player characters make it to the absolute bottom level, they will come face to face with the creator, a leftover ancient from the before times, heavily armored and armed with artifacts and relics of almost unimaginable power. And should the players be able to defeat him, obviously they more or less win the situation. But the creator is no slouch and no fool, and there's ample opportunities for him to defeat the party and or escape to harry them again later on in the campaign if the GM so desires. Part of the victory conditions of this adventure are to obtain the space suits that are contained here in this adventure, as well as a number of robots to pilot the Sky Chariot once it's assembled, and if everything goes in their direction, they will have the ship, the suits, the crew, all the equipment ready to blast off into outer space to find the lost, fabled cities of man. One of the interesting things about this adventure, in addition to all the new equipment, the new races, the new creatures, is an updated robot section that not only has a slew of new robots and cyborgs for the player characters to interact with, but it also allows for the players to create robot characters, which is kind of a no-brainer if you think about it. Gamma World, I think that, you know, adding this option at the beginning of a really good campaign would allow for a lot of interesting interaction between that particular robot PC and the player characters and other NPCs throughout the entire adventure, which would make for a lot of interesting role playing, to say the least. But it has everything you need to create random robots, random robot characters, the whole bit, all contained within just, honestly, just about 40 pages, 45 pages, not including maps. Once again, because I got a print-on-demand copy of this, the maps are janky and would really need to be pulled apart to make any sense of it. It's really hard to see. Although this one little map might actually be a faraway version of the whole thing, in which case that's about all you would really need as a good GM, instead of these giant 4, 5, 6 page poster sized map. I didn't like it that one of the maps was not labeled as to what level it is, but you can figure out which it is by, you know, just the power of deduction. But all in all, it's actually one of my favorite parts of the entire storyline. The idea of icy gamma world conditions, wind chill factor, the whole bit, in addition to the last dungeon, if you will, of the campaign, you know, having that time running out situation. The players don't realize it unless you want to, you know, give them some hints that it is in fact falling apart and time is of the essence. Let's hurry up and get to, you know, the big bad guy, the boss fight, which is actually not going to be an easy task. A lot of the previous encounters, while tough, are nowhere near as tough as the creator himself in this game. His force field alone should give them a whole lot of trouble, and if things start going bad for him, he will of course summon some of his minions, which will include a number of cyborgs that are also pretty badass, just saying. So player characters, beware, be ready, and, you know, have your best game face on. This is going to be a tough one. I am really looking forward to reviewing the fan-made finale to this one, to see what they had in mind, to see what kind of aliens they put on the moon and all that good stuff, and exactly how they thought to integrate the cities of man, the giant Warden-class starship, as the final destination or the beginning of a new campaign. We'll see. I will let you guys know tomorrow. We are doing the book club in just a couple of short hours, where we will be reviewing Robert E. Howard's Kull the Conqueror. We'll be covering the first couple of stories in the book club meeting this evening, 5 o'clock avocado time. I'm not sure what it is for you guys out there in TV land. I hope you guys will join us as we go through the books in Appendix N throughout the remainder of the year and on into the future. Thanks everybody for playing along and sticking around, and I will see you guys later. You guys have a great day. I need to go make some dinner. I am starving. Until next time, folks, happy trails.